Hi, and welcome to Sales Training for Access Control as a Service, brought to you by Feenics. My name is Chris Peterson. I am the president and owner of Vector Firm. Vector Firm is a sales management consulting and sales training organization focused specifically on system integration companies and their technology providers like Feenics. And we're ecstatic to work with them on this particular sales training program. So this short video is simply an introduction to what you're about to experience. What we decided to do is develop a class that has 8 modules to it. And I'm going to present to you what those 8 modules are now. But before we jump into those, conceptually, we've developed this class for system integrators selling access control as a service to their end user customers. So as we're going through this syllabus, I want you to think from that perspective. This isn't, here's how you sell Feenics' system. This is, how do you sell access control as a service? Now, in some specific parts actually throughout probably all 8 sessions, we get pretty customized into the Keep system. But the concepts and the foundation of the training is about access control as a service in general. And we've done that purposely. All right, so what are these 8 classes? The first thing we're going to talk about is targeting and personas. So what types of accounts should you be pursuing since Feenics' inception, where have they found the most success? And then within those types of accounts, what are the personas of the individuals that we want to sell to? The second class is on a specific strategy for prospecting, for getting in the door of new prospective customers with access control as a service. Then we move on to the value of access control as a service. And when I say that, don't just skip by this because it's one of those terms, value is just one of those terms that's thrown around entirely too frequently today. But we're going to dig into the true value of access control as a service and also talk a bit about why there hasn't been more success in this space. And I believe a big part of that reason is because we're not really communicating the right value. We're communicating a value proposition, but I don't think it's the right one to start with. And we're going to talk about that in significant detail there. Then we move on to identifying problems at your end users that will be solved by access control as a service. Moving into probing questions, how to ask these questions and specifically what those questions are. In this session, I actually bring in Brian Matthews from Feenics, and we talk through the specific probing questions that are suggested by Feenics, and we pick 3 or 4 of them to where he gets into great detail as far as the types of answers that you should be looking for and why you should be looking for those types of answers. Number 6 is all about logical justification. And in this particular session, we're going to go through the total cost of ownership calculator that Feenics has created. Now, this is going to be more of training on how to provide logical justification and when to provide it to your customers for access control as a service. And then we're going to do a high-level overview of the calculator. Number 7 is all about selling access control as a service to enterprise accounts. I love this particular class because as far as I know, no other technology really talks about their enterprise customers, meaning no other cloud technology in the security space. They're all talking about getting out there to small and medium-sized businesses. And the fact is, what Feenics has in particular has just as much, if not more value in some cases, to the large enterprise accounts as they do to some of the small businesses. And we're going to talk through how to get in the door of those accounts and how to have those conversations. And then finally, the last session, we're going to use topics from the first 7 sessions and talk about how to use those when selling to new prospects versus how to use those different skill sets when selling to current customers. And they're completely different. Selling to new prospective customers, once you get in the door, is different than selling to a current customer, when you're selling access control as a service, not when you're selling just a new set of cameras, but when you're selling access control as a service, the approach is completely different. So this is our 8-module class. Now each class is going to have a webinar that you watch and that you learn the material, and then after the webinar will be a quiz. The webinars are anywhere from about 10 to maybe 25 minutes long, and afterwards there's going to be a 3-question quiz. And the quiz questions are easy if you watch the webinar and pay attention. If you don't, then the quizzes are, I don't want to say they're hard, but it'd be difficult for you to find the right answer, regardless of how much you know about the system already. So you've got to watch the webinars. And then when you're done, you get your certification from Feenics, and hopefully you will start to get out there and get a bunch more activity around access control as a service, and particularly the Feenics Keep system. All right, on to our first session, targeting and personas. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy the class, and looking forward to seeing a lot of those certifications very, very shortly.